Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Heisel, representing 719 TCG. Just wanted to take a minute to show you guys my version of 3-access. Yesterday at our locals, out of 6 rounds, I went X1, only losing to losing to E-Dragons off just honestly bad at opening game 1. Other than that, it was really solid. So let's go ahead and get into the deck. Start out with 3 Rooster. Obviously everybody knows what this card does. It's amazing. You get so many pluses off this card. Next you have your 3 Spirit. Essentially like a debris dragon for your Fire Fist. Lets you go into Horse Prince, lets you go into whatever you need for the deck. Just a really solid card all over. Next you have 3 Leopard. A lot of people like 2. I refuse to play anything but 3. The card is too good. The fact that you can just normal summon it and get your fire formation, especially if you already have Spirit in your hand, or even if you have Tenki already in your hand, you can drop him, go get your Tenzu. Your graveyard's already set up for your Spirit play, plus you have another fire formation out for your Rooster. So it's just good to cycle. Next you have 1 Hawk. A lot of people don't like him. I don't understand why people don't. I get that you can't rekindling him or anything like that because his attack is 200 and his defense is huge. But just the extra 500 attack and defense that he gives everything else pretty much solves a lot of your problems that you're going to run into with this deck, since most of your monsters are smaller. Even Horse Prince and Lion Emperor just aren't that strong. So it's just a good card all over. Plus, if you have to, you can just set him turn 1 and go get yourself whatever fire formation you need. Next we've got 3 Burner. The reason I play 3 is because A, it's a 3-star rekindling target. Plus, it's good for just overall setup. I mean, if you have to, you can just bluff your opponent on turn 1, like discard this and a blaster, and just go get another blaster out of your deck. Your opponent thinks you're playing dragons, and you can just sit on your blaster, not have to worry about it. Plus, it's just another, like I said, it's a good rekindling target. It's 3-star. There's really no downside to having 3 in the deck. Just makes it more consistent. Then you have 3 Blaster. Again, I play 3 Burner, so 3 Blaster. Just a big beater, just another great way to clear cards off the field, deal with problems, either big beaters or just blowing cards up, deal with back row. Blaster's pretty self-explanatory choice. So that's it for the monsters. Let's go into the spells. I play 2 Fire Formation Yoko. This card's my MVP from yesterday. Being able to tribute any fire formation like a dead Tenki off and go get this card lets you set up your graveyard if you go second, if you lose your dice roll. And then getting to discard a card to set your graveyard up for your Spirit play, either Rooster or Leopard, and then getting to pop any face-up card your opponent controls. It's a really powerful card that you can search for at any point in time in your game. Highly recommend you keep it at 2. 3, you see it too much, you don't want to see it in your open. 2 is the perfect amount, because even if you do see your 1 in your open, then you've got another one later on you can search for. 3 Tenki, self-explanatory, don't need to say anything about that. Tenki's just a great card. You have 3 Tensu. Some people like 2. I personally prefer 3. I would not play anything less than 3. This card's really, really good, really overpowered. Just the fact that you can consistently play the extra monster every turn for your Spirit, for your Horse Prince plays, all that extra stuff. Just having a live Tensu lets you go from Horse Prince to Lion Emperor on turn 1 with a full hand. Another thing a lot of people don't do with Tensu is they don't blow it up. They'd rather hit something else and leave your Tensu alone. So your Tensu's probably going to be the card that hangs around most often. So it's really good. Plus you can cycle it off Rooster's second effect to go get a Tenki, go get a Yoko, whatever you need. I played 2 Rekindling. I had tested it at 3. I refuse to play 3, honestly. The card is really great, but you don't need to play 3. It will clog your hand when you don't need it to. It's a great late game card, which is what I really use it for, is the late game. You don't need to try. The deck already generates enough advantage. You don't need to try and overextend so much just to get your Rekindling play off. You can play slow with this deck and still have a bunch of advantage. And then Rekindling is just your follow-up play for late game. Then you have 3 Instant Fusion. A lot of people have not tried this yet. Was another one of my MVP cards from yesterday. There's a fusion from LOB that's a level 3 fire that makes this card so live, because if they Valor your Spirit, then you have your instant fusion. You can still make Horse Prince, you can still make Lion Emperor, you can still make whatever play you need to make in order to keep your plays going. The minus 1,000 doesn't hurt you at all, because you get so much advantage off the rest of your plays that your life early on when you play your instant fusion doesn't matter. Because you do have to play 3 to make the deck as consistent as it can be, you do have to play 3 of the fusion. Again, it's not terrible, it's just for when your cards get Valored so you can continue to make your plays. A lot of people will Valor your Spirit thinking they've got you completely stopped. You drop your instant fusion, your play keeps going, and you really don't lose anything. It's not a minus to do it to keep the rest of your plays alive. 1 Foolish Burial, again, just pretty much, it's a turn 1 setup. Foolish Burial your Rooster to grave, play your Spirit. You get a plus off the Rooster, and then if you have a fire formation to go with it, you just ditch your other fire formation for whatever you need. Reborn, Dark Hole, heavy, pretty standard. Every deck plays them, just the staples. And then 1 Book of Moon. Book, I really feel, is an optional card. It's obviously, it goes through, everybody knows about the Swift Scarecrow thing now, where you can Book of Moon your monster and keep attacking through Swift Scarecrow, because it'll miss the timing. However, I am probably going to test 1 Circle of the Fire Kings instead of this Book of Moon. I never drew Book yesterday out of 6 rounds. Not saying Book is a bad card by any means, but I would like to test Circle, because Circle will let you destroy one of your fire monsters on the field and special summon 1 out of grave. It's a quick play as well, so it's a nice thing. So if they try to big eye your monster or anything like that, you can chain Circle and get rid of their target and then bring back something that is even more beneficial to you. Again, that's just me wanting to test it. If you guys feel more comfortable with Book of Moon, go Book of Moon. Lastly, I only played 6 traps. Pretty straightforward on my trap lineup. So I played 1 Warning, 2 Compulse, 2 Bottomless, and then 1 Horn of the Phantom Beast. Horn is kind of an optional card. You don't necessarily have to play it, and I'm by no means saying you should play it. It was a card I wanted to test. It's been a really solid card dealing with stuff in damage calculation. Obviously, the plus that you could potentially get off of it's really good, especially considering your Horse Prince and Lion Emperor are fairly small monsters. The 1 Horn has worked out well, especially against some of the newer decks, stuff like Bujins. Like, you can ram a lesser monster into Yamato, let them drop the whatever the crane, they're honest, and deal with it. And then you still have Horn later on for when you actually need to attack over it. So you can ram something weak into it just to bait them out, and then drop another monster since their attack is going to get reduced back to its normal attack after that first attack anyway. So Horn is just good all around. Like I said, it's potential +1. But again, it's a personal choice card. I like it. If you guys don't, then that's okay. Feel free to change it. Feel free to tweak it. We get into the extra deck.
2 questions. So you don't play Judgement or Bear? So you don't got a Fire Fist, like the 3 actually like to play 1 Bear. You don't like the 1 Bear?
Oh, sure. I personally think Bear is a useless card. You already have Yoko that you can tutor for at any point in time. Bear does nothing for the synergy of the deck that Yoko can't do for you. It's just a waste of a card in your deck. I would rather have my Yoko that sets up my graveyard than Bear to ditch my fire formations that I would rather get new ones off of with Rooster. Also don't play Judgement because I think it's a really dead card right now. Not that it's not a good card, but why do I want to play Solemn with Mermail's Priestess and Dragons running around? It's a dead card against those decks, and I don't want to Solemn their Exceed. I'd rather just Compulse it or Bottomless it.
Yeah. And the deck's 40, right?
Yep, it's 40 cards.
Cool.
Next we'll go into the extra deck, and then I'll follow up with the sideboard. So, plays 3 of these guys. This is that LOB fusion monster I was talking about. Again, he's awful normally, but because of the instant fusion and being able to continue on and make your Horse Prince play or your Lion Emperor play or any rank 3 play, he's just really good. It's just a really solid, consistent card that's going to help you with the flow of your deck. Not only that, but you get, it essentially makes Lion Emperor a +2 because detaching him doesn't really do anything, so it's just a card in your graveyard that's free. Again, he's a fire, so you don't have to worry about him being some random type. So you can banish him for Blaster too. He's just a really solid card all the way around. Again, he's terrible normally, but because of instant fusion, it's one of those cards that just makes life a lot easier. So then I also play 3 Horse Prince. A lot of people actually were saying, oh, you should only play 2 for this deck because your extra deck don't have enough room for it because they want to play a lot of bad things, a lot of unnecessary cards, to be honest with you. This is your bread and butter of the deck. If you can make him turn 1 every single time, your average turn 1 play is going to make it so you're starting out with 9 cards to your opponent's 6 just because of him, just being able to use Rooster and recycle your stuff. He's too good. Again, you guys all know he's 22 attack, so that's where that horn comes in handy, along with Hawk and your extra fire formations that you can cycle. Then 2 Lion Emperor. Don't get me wrong, on the Lion Emperors, initially I was playing 3 of them, but I wanted to drop 1 just because I wanted to be able to play this Giga Brilliant. Giga Brilliant is such a underrated card right now. I mean, the card's always been really good, but since everybody knows Fire Formation or Fire Fist, the deck, they're all pretty small size monsters. Being able to go into this Giga Brilliant and just making all your stuff much bigger makes your opponent have a much harder time. Giga Brilliant can win games against dragons simply because your monsters are just bigger than theirs, and bigger than theirs from out of nowhere. Even if they blow it up, your attack boost still stays. The fact that you could potentially get a +600 to all your monsters just off Giga Brilliant's effect is really good. Makes Horse Prince 28 with no fire formations, makes Lion Emperor 28 with no fire formations. Just a really good card. But again, personal preference. I really like Giga Brilliant, and Lion Emperor I don't see myself going into as often, so that's why I dropped it to 2. I also play 1 Leviair. Usually pretty self-explanatory, but I just want to talk about it for a second, only because since I am playing 3 Blaster in this deck, it's not bad to be able to remove your Roosters and just be able to cycle them again, or even remove your Spirits and cycle them, or your Leopards for that matter. Other than that, everybody knows what Leviair does. He's a straightforward card.
I hate to rush you, but my battery's about to die. I didn't know it was gonna.
Yeah, you're good.
Alright.
Then Leviathan, Zen Mains. And then lastly, I play 3 rank 7s. 1 Blades, 1 Dryosac, 1 Big Eye. These guys aren't necessary, but since I'm playing 3 Blaster and the 3 Burner, I have had multiple occasions where I've gone into these. They're just game-winning cards. So again, personal choice. The only one of these I don't think is necessary is the Big Eye. Dragossack and Blades, though, I would say are definitely must-haves for this deck if you're gonna play it with 3 and 3. Excuse me. Lastly, I just want to go into the sideboard, and I'll do it quick. So you have 3 Max C, 2 Fire Formation, Goyoku. Basically what this does is it's a miniature Zing Zang Hu. Pretty straightforward against back row decks, plus the fact that you can search for it off Rooster makes it really good. And then it has the standard, and they can't chain to it as well. It doesn't follow the same rule though. They can chain something else, then chain the card you target. But it's a great card to lock down stuff like Spellbook of Fate. They can't play it, and then as a result you're free to make your plays. Goes in match, pretty straightforward, everything's fire. Mind Drain, dragons, hand traps, pretty much everything. 2 Iron Wall, just good card, locks down the deck. 2 Mind Crush, really good against Boojins now that you know a lot more of what's in their hand. It's good for mirror match, good for dragons, good for mermills, pretty just all around solid card. And then double Mirror Force.
Cool.
Just for those times when you need the extra monster hate. And thanks guys, appreciate it. That was pretty much.
Thanks for doing the vid.
What's that?
Oh, thanks for doing the vid.
Oh yeah, no problem, man. Like I said, this is Corey Heisel representing 719 TCG. Check out my deck if you like it. Test it. It's really good. Promise it won't let you down. Thanks.
Cool. Thank you.
Bye.